Welcome to Transcend Awards. Policy duties in swimming pool environments. Duties associated with safety management. By law, the swimming pool operator must take all reasonable steps to ensure that staff, participants and visitors are not exposed to risks to their health and safety. The operator is accountable for the health and safety of staff, participants and visitors. The external hirer also holds the same accountability for any of their staff and participants and the operator's staff on site. All operators must appoint a competent person as the health and safety officer to ensure they meet their legal and ethical duties in this area. Duties associated with safety management. A competent person is someone who is able to give sensible guidance about managing the health and safety risks in the environment based on knowledge, skills, and experience. This knowledge, skills, and experience must include sound understanding of health, safety, and risk assessment practices, in addition to an innate knowledge of the swimming pool environment and all risk scenarios specific to the organisation, its infrastructure, stakeholders, and activities. The senior management or leadership team are often selected to oversee health, safety, and risk assessment, although an external source can be subcontracted to do this. Duties associated with safety policy. Swimming pool operators and external hirers are required to have a health and safety policy in place, which should include their commitment statement reflecting a legal and ethical approach to health and safety, the delegated responsibilities for the overall health and safety and allocated to specific areas and individuals, the arrangement for dynamic risk assessment and practical measures to control risks through venue safety operating procedures, the health and safety performance review approach designed to demonstrate compliance with health and safety standards. Duties associated with health and safety approaches. To ensure legal compliance and also to reassure all regulatory bodies and users of the commitment to health and safety, the following areas are likely to be embedded into the policy as a minimum. Arrangements for managers and responsible individuals associated with health and safety. Arrangements for the dynamic environment risk assessment processes across the infrastructure and all routine activities at the venue. Arrangements for consulting with and involving employees and relevant hirers on risk and safety operating procedures. Arrangements for periodic venue inspections, which would indicate a whole environment review during a time of major change and pandemic. Arrangements for non-routine events and activities with supplementary risk assessments, including for visitors and alternative activities. Arrangements for health and safety induction training and monitoring, including ability of individuals to assess risk. Duties associated with health and safety approaches. To ensure further legal compliance and also to reassure all regulatory bodies and users of the commitment to health and safety, following areas are also likely to be embedded into the policy as a minimum. Arrangements for recording and reporting accidents, referencing RYNAT processes. Arrangements for normal operating and emergency action procedures and contingency plans. Arrangements for health and safety performance monitoring and reporting on the effectiveness of the approach. Arrangements for first aid and occupational health services, arrangements on the approach to accidents and incident investigation to understand causes. So how is infectious disease managed? Duties associated with policy for infectious disease. Swimming pool operators or external hirers should refer to a policy for the management of infectious disease. It will be expected that many will have updated this following COVID-19. As infections can be common in the swimming pool environment, the approach to the management of infectious disease should also be integral to the overall health and safety policy. It should also be managed within the operators and external hirers' risk assessment procedures and safety performance monitoring activities. Results from the risk assessment will instigate pool safety operating procedures as a control measure to prevent the development and spread of infectious diseases in swimming pools and their surrounding areas. The swimming pool safe operating procedures will refer to the methods in place to prevent the spread of infectious disease, mitigate the effects of infectious disease outbreaks. This will include clear procedures for hygiene and exclusion rules in accordance with government, national governing body, HSE and insurers' guidance. Duties associated with policy for infectious disease. The health and safety policy will outline the approach to emergency operating procedures. This will include contingencies in the event of a crucial incident or catastrophe. Health and safety emergency action plans should consider serious injury to a participant, visitor or member of staff, for example, a head injury from diving in. Significant damage to venue property, for example, due to a fire. Criminal activity, for example, a bomb threat. Severe weather, for example, power failure. Serious venue and health incidents such as chlorine or gas leak. Public health incidents, for example, an infectious disease pandemic. As you can see, infectious disease is embedded into emergency operating procedures. Duties associated with pandemics. Swimming pool operators and external hirers should all now have emergency operating procedures for pandemics. These are generally associated with a pandemic that occur in a structured lesson, an open swimming session, the changing rooms, reception areas, or even the local community. Like the rest of the world, nothing could have prepared the swimming and leisure for the impact of the recent coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, which has brought countries across the world to a standstill. As a result, every swimming pool and leisure centre's health and safety policies have been subject to full review. Every swimming pool environment have also had to conduct a full COVID risk assessment as the virus impact on all aspects of the swimming pool business, participant and its stakeholders or external hirers. Duties of the swimming pool senior management. The swimming pool senior management and external hirers should have taken all reasonable steps to ensure the policies consider safe systems are in place to prevent, mitigate and manage infectious disease. Have taken all reasonable steps to ensure a full organisational risk assessment has been conducted that considers the current pandemic. Have taken all reasonable steps to ensure that their brand new pool safety operating procedures embed social distancing measures and hygiene controls. Have taken all reasonable steps to ensure that their brand new pool safe operating procedures embed procedures to mitigate the effect of an infectious disease detection and incident. Have taken all reasonable steps to ensure revised emergency action plans consider contingencies and disaster recovery plans for infection catastrophes. Duties of the swimming pool and external hire management team. Ensure their staff and volunteers working or volunteering in the environment are familiar with the health and safety policy and practices and can articulate this to other individuals. Be expected to contribute to dynamic risk assessments. Receive and complete training in this area and be comfortable with what is expected of them. Be fully aware of their role in the event of a critical incident or catastrophe associated with infectious disease. Duties of the swimming pool workforce. As a team member of the swimming pool workforce, such as a lifeguard, a swimming teacher, or a poolside helper, you should ensure that you are familiar with the health and safety policy and all procedures associated with infectious disease from your swimming pool operator or club or organisation. Ensure that you are familiar with the risk assessment results, understand the safe and emergency operating procedures, and be able to contribute to dynamic risk assessments, understanding how to react, record, and report to the health and safety responsible officers. Expect to be consulted with on infectious disease practice and feel comfortable with what is expected of you in your role and responsibilities. It is the employer's duty to provide you the instructions and training, but it is your duty also to seek information and be proactive with your feedback and any of your concerns or ideas that you must raise with your line manager or health and safety officer. Your voice and knowledge is essential to the safety of the children. Thank you for watching. Feel free to watch as many times as you need, or move on to the next part of your digital learning experience on your list.